Welcome back to Smarter Green Living. If you've got solar panels, summer should be your victory lap. But here's the truth. Loads of UK homes are generating their cheapest electricity right in the middle of the day, and then exporting it for pennies while buying power back at tea time. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stop wasting your best solar hours, save real money this summer, and get far more from the panels you already own. Let's get the basics straight. Solar PV panels generate electricity whenever there's daylight. Your inverter converts that electricity into the kind your house can use. Your home uses solar first, automatically, and anything you don't use gets exported to the grid. Unless you've got battery storage, you can't save those spare units for later. That is the entire game. Use more at the time it's generated. In the UK, summer is where your panels earn their keep. A typical 3 kilowatt system can hit around 2,000 to 3,000 watts around midday on a bright summer day. South-facing roofs tend to peak around noon. East-facing roofs shift the sweet spot into the morning. West-facing roofs into the afternoon. And yes, panels still work on cloudy days, just with lower output. So the question is, am I using the power when it shows up? That self-consumption number matters because MCS defines it as the share of solar generation you use on site. More self-consumption usually means lower imports from the grid. And if your day is built around morning kettles and evening ovens, while the house sits quiet at midday, your panels can still perform well technically while underperforming financially. First, move big loads into the solar spike. This is the highest return move because it costs nothing. Washing machines can draw roughly 1 to 2.2 kilowatts, microwaves 0.7 to 1.4 kilowatts, ovens around 2 to 2.4 kilowatts, and immersion heaters 3 kilowatts. So if your panels are kicking out over 2 kilowatts around lunchtime, that is the moment to run one major appliance, not 3. And lower temperature wash cycles help because they usually reduce the heating load. Second, automate safe loads. The supplied guidance is right to push timers and smart monitoring. Your smart meter's in-home display already shows grid import in near real time, so when that display drops to 0, you're riding solar. Then use cheap automation for the boring repeat stuff, tablet charging, dehumidifiers, lamps, maybe a dishwasher if you're confident it is safe to run unattended and the manufacturer guidance allows it. The rule is simple. Only automate appliances you are genuinely happy running safely while you're out. Third, soak up the surplus with hot water or an EV. If your home has a hot water cylinder and immersion heater, a diverter can push spare solar into water heating instead of exporting it. That is especially strong in summer because hot water demand stays useful even when electrical demand is low. And if you've got an EV at home during the day, solar charging is a massive opportunity. But be realistic. On single-phase charging, solar-only EV charging usually needs roughly 1.4 kilowatts of surplus to get started cleanly. Fourth, treat batteries as strategy. Batteries can absolutely increase self-consumption because they store midday surplus for the evening. Energy Saving Trust says an average 5 kilowatt-hour battery is around £4,600, while broader installed market ranges can land around £5,000 to £8,000, depending on size and complexity. So, before you buy one, ask, how much are you exporting now? How much evening demand do you have? What's the usable capacity? What's the continuous output in kilowatts? And will it do backup or not? Also, the supplied NEA battery guide flags something people miss. Some domestic battery systems need a continuous internet connection for updates and monitoring. Fifth, protect the yield you already have. South-facing is best for total annual yield, but east and west still work. they just shift the use window. Shade from chimneys, nearby buildings, dirt, leaves or overgrown trees can drag down output. Unshaded roofs are recommended where possible, and notes optimizers can reduce the impact if shading is unavoidable. If you rent or live in social housing, don't climb up there, and do not start cutting trees yourself. Report shading or faults to the landlord or system owner. Your daily routine. Here's what a practical summer day looks like for a typical UK household with a 3 to 4 kilowatt array, about 3,100 kilowatt hours annual demand, and no battery by default. At 7 a.m., solar is still weak, maybe 100 to 300 watts on a decent summer morning. Your fridge, freezer and router are already taking maybe 105 to 315 watts together. So your morning kettle at roughly 3 kilowatts, that's not a great win. Accept that and move on. At 9:30 a.m., generation might be up to around 800 to 1,500 watts, depending on roof direction and weather. This is a good window for device charging, the TV if someone is home, or preheating hot water if you've got a diverter. Keep imports low, don't fire the oven yet. Between 11:30 a.m. to 14:30 p.m., this is your money window. On a bright day, a 3 kilowatt system can produce around 2,000 to 3,000 watts. Run the washing machine at 30 degrees Celsius here. If it peaks at 1 to 2.2 kilowatts, you've got a real chance of covering most or all of it from solar. If it's very sunny and you're closer to the top of that generation range, follow with the microwave for lunch, not the full oven. At 13 p.m., if you've got an EV and a solar-capable charger, this is where you plug in. With a single-phase charger in solar-led mode, you're usually looking for around 1.4 kilowatts minimum to sustain true surplus charging without topping up too much from the grid. No EV? This is prime immersion diverter territory. At 15:30 p.m., output starts tapering. If the sky is still clear and you're above roughly 1.5 to 2 kilowatts, you can squeeze in one more medium-heavy load. If not, switch back to low-load stuff and stop kidding yourself that multiple big appliances are still running on solar. From 18:30 p.m. onwards, solar's fading fast. This is where batteries, preheated water, or solar-shifted habits pay off. If you cooked some of dinner earlier in a slow cooker, great. If not, this is when you're back into grid territory for heavier evening loads. So here's the challenge. For the next 7 sunny days, watch your import on the in-home display. Note when your panels peak, and deliberately move 1 or 2 loads into that window. If you're shopping for upgrades, start with the cheapest control tools first. Then get quotes from MCS-certified installers and make sure the company is also covered by RECC consumer protections. Ask for the annual generation estimate and self-consumption estimate in writing. Get at least 3 quotes, and if you want export payments, shop around the current Ofgem Smart Export Guarantee supplier list, because your export tariff does not have to be with your import supplier. And one final safety note. Standard grid-tied solar usually shuts off in a power cut, so don't assume you've got backup unless your battery system is specifically designed and installed for it. And if you're a tenant or in social housing, report shading, faults or access issues to your landlord or system owner. Don't arrange third-party maintenance yourself. And if you enjoy practical, evidence-based sustainability content, subscribe to Smarter Green Living. See you in the next episode, and thank you for watching.